in China, they love to put these big song and dance things up there to kind of show that China's got, you know, all this this money and it's so international and it's so amazing. So LV has put a little ad campaign in China, which of course has been spreading like wildfire across not only the Chinese internet, but Western internet as well, to kind of show how China does everything on such a large scale. Not to mention that this is actually just a company doing something on a large scale, but they've basically taken this massive bag and put it on a barge, okay, which they've been floating around in the Bund over here in Shanghai. But there's something that people seem to be forgetting about or just neglecting when they're looking at this footage, right? If you look a little closer, and that is, have you guessed it by now? If you haven't guessed it by now, you'll see in a second. Here it comes. That's right. The sky don't lie. Anyway, guys, before we continue, I thought I'd bring in today's special guest into the show. I'd like you to welcome Sea Milk, otherwise known as Lau86, who's going to be joining me today on the China show.
Yes, I'll join you
so we could discuss this stuff.
on
Now,
your show.
I was just telling everybody about this this LV promotion thing in Shanghai.
Oh, I believe I saw that prior.
I was curious, what are your thoughts on this whole
I think,
scenario?
you know what? Here's the deal.
Yeah.
A lot of people will accuse China of being kind of tacky, right? And this goes throughout a long period of history, especially when China was first like industrializing.
Yeah.
Making kind of cheap stuff, manufacturing hub of the world. But then they go and do something like this and kind of totally redeem themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
You
true.
do something like this, then the world looks at China and says, you know what? China's actually really fashionable, really tasteful, understated.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I think. That is a gorgeous, just gorgeous barge.
It is, isn't it?
The sky don't lie, though.
No, it doesn't. No, I'm just currently busy fixing the audio for some reason. Every bloody time we start the show, it resets the default audio.
You gotta do it.
Let's see if this comes through this time. Anyway, for those of you who don't know this guy over here, he's also knows a thing or two about China, so I thought it'd be good to have him on the China show today.
Appreciate that.
Get a little bit of input from you.
Nice.
Yeah.
You run things through me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you can maybe
I'll chime
add
in here and there.
You can add a little bit to the show today.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Sky don't lie.
Good. Audio's working. Okay, we got some other clips here for you. Never mind this, the LV bag stunt, but
I love your red-tailed hawk that you've inserted in there.
well, because
Very popular bird in China.
if the sky was blue, they'd probably exist there. You know what I mean?
You think so?
I think they would be able to breathe and live.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
didn't
saying?
think about that.
I feel like if you dropped off red-tailed hawks in China, they would just die from the smog.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Well,
they
wouldn't
need
be able find
to
any
breathe
prey.
freedom.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
Let's look at this clip over here, just to show you the kind of absurdity when it comes to surveillance in China. Look at the amount of security cameras in that one little
That's
segment.
ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's go back there. Sorry. What do you think they're looking at?
I have no idea, but it better be important. But I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
It doesn't redeem the situation. It actually maybe makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my theory.
Okay.
Those cameras,
Yeah.
there only needs to be one.
Yes.
But they fail, and they're so haphazardly wired up, and they're so cheap. Let's say
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
$5, $10. Probably, right?
Yeah.
That when one fails, instead of trying to tear apart this rat's nest in this Pandora's box of electric wires, right? They just add or splice in a new one.
Yeah.
So there's actually only supposed to be one camera, but those are all its replacements.
I mean, that's a possibility, but I'm looking at the amount of wires there. And
I
yeah,
know. I'm just saying.
They're probably all hooked up. But anyway, it's just insane.
Just to get that real depth of field, that real crisp image, you know, composite.
Yeah,
image.
and like shit 80p on these things. You know, here's the thing. The reason I went to China in the first place is for a security company.
Yeah.
Okay, because I used to help them set up their cameras and set up their servers for their CCTV security systems. So I went to China to go and source cameras like that.
That's right.
And it was insane to me because when I got to China, just the amount of cameras that were everywhere.
Yes.
You know, you're not used to that normally, but
No.
every shop, every little kiosk, every little place you go into, there's a camera on a security
Yes.
camera somewhere.
And hands.
Yeah, the thing is, you get used to it,
Yeah.
and it just becomes a way of life in China. But it just piles up and piles up, so you actually get to a point where you don't even notice anymore.
Yeah, it's like background noise.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So to see a scene like that, people walking past won't think twice about it. They'll just be like, "That's normal."
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
He is.
So crazy. This guest talks so much.
I know. Yeah.
I'll relegate myself to the background.
Talkative guest. You may have heard about this rather disturbing case that happened in Florida.
This is Poison Man.
Yeah, a former Florida chemistry student charged with injecting poisonous toxins underneath his neighbor's front door has been deported to China, and is unlikely to face charges in the U.S. Which is
by the way, this
unfortunate.
says the reason we wanted to put this in, and it's not related to China when he was here, but he was deported. And it was interesting
China.
he didn't get arrested, or he didn't get
Go to
charged
trial.
and then get deported.
Yeah, it is weird that they did
Yeah.
that. And I have no idea why they would do such a thing, because that's a miscarriage of justice.
Yeah, I guess.
It is a miscarriage of justice. For those of you who don't know the story, I believe it was his upstairs neighbors had a little baby who was crying a lot and stuff. So he got pissed off because of the noise.
Florida man.
Yeah, and it was weird. The parents were noticing that their child was getting very sick and that they were feeling sick and weird and woozy and stuff. So they set up a camera at their front door, and you can go look it up, but you can actually see this guy sneaking up to their front door. He's a chemistry student, taking like a clear pipe out of his bag and injecting like a gas underneath their door in order to basically gas them. And whether he was trying to murder them or trying to like do something terrible, either way, it was serious stuff.
Yeah, it's
not
interesting he didn't get charged.
Yeah, it's not like a small fry thing. It's pretty much could be checked up as, you could put it down to attempted murder at that point.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
But for some reason, he did get arrested, and he had a trial date set.
Oh, okay.
So he did have a trial date set, but then they deported him before he could go to trial.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
It is
But
weird.
again, like, who knows? But yeah, like, shouldn't you go to jail for like trying to kill people?
I think you should at least go to trial.
Yeah.
There's evidence. They've got
Yeah.
video evidence of him doing it. He is a chemistry student.
Yes.
He tried to murder his neighbors, or at least tried to incapacitate them,
Yeah.
or whatever he was trying to do by injecting noxious chemicals under their door.
Yeah.
It's a bit, it's a bit weird that they're like, okay, you can just go back to China and avoid any criminal anything.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird?
Anyway, yes.
I'm just saying, it's weird.
It's what I said. I said it's weird.
Super weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fact of the matter is, I guess there is a warrant out for his arrest, because I was reading the article. Because he didn't show up for his court date, because he had been deported, there's now a warrant out for his
Wait, what?
arrest. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So he didn't turn up for his court date
Interesting.
because he was deported. And because he didn't turn up for his court date, there's a warrant issued out for his arrest.
Interesting.
So if he does try to come back to America, he will be arrested.
Oh, okay. So that's makes it a little less weird, because it's like, well, you're not coming here anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. At the same time, though,
Like, he's not getting back.
yeah. What is she doing?
What is that?
Get out of here. No, you get out of here. It's like Tweedledee and Tweedledum. When I see this, I feel so depressed.
I feel horrible. Chickens living in a van.
Stupid chicken doesn't go over that stupid pole. What's wrong with a stupid
He
chicken?
can't get over the
No,
pole.
he's like,
he
what?
can literally
He
fly
just-
and jump.
They're like, no, I cannot cross this magical pole.
Oh, and here's the mascot of the amusement park, Gilly Man.
Gilly, man.
I
Lots of
personally
tatty.
like the Peppa Pig guns. That's what I like.
Peppa Pig hunting rifle.
Hunting
Yeah.
and
it's-
murder
yeah.
with Peppa Pig.
I know, it's just so wrong.
Close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked that